The great British love affair with train travel is as old as the railways themselves. From the beating heart of London's metropolis to the majesty of the Scottish Highlands. Connecting coast and countryside with our great cities, the East Coast Line has it all.
Disregard that, it's a glitch.
But it's the people who give life to this railway.
Come on, Frisco, I trust you.
The Republic are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
The East Coast Line carries 19 million passengers a year on 155 train journeys a day, along almost 1,000 miles of track. East Coast is the largest operator on the line. It runs trains, manages stations, and employs nearly 3,000 staff.
That's why you do it all day. I'm not playing with you while you're showing off.
The East Coast workforce toils tirelessly.
Mandy bags, please.
From driving trains...
Look at this office window. Fantastic.
...to making breakfasts...
I cooked that much bacon over the years, surprised I haven't turned into a pig.
...to controlling the whole train set.
Morning. That's absolutely excellent, Graham.
Keeping everything on track behind the scenes and in public.
I've been standing here for half an hour.
These are the real heroes of the railway. As the sun sets on a Friday night, the entire East Coast train line switches to weekend mode. The weekdays suited and booted commuters surrender their seats to a diverse mix of travellers more inclined to leisure pursuits. And as the network is taken over by pleasure seekers, East Coast weekend workers face a very different set of issues.
Get older cleaners, there's a load of blood on the top of the stairs.
For 9 months of the year, it's the football season, and tribes of fans crisscrossing the country in search of glory can bring its own challenges.
It's happened again!
East Coast trains carry thousands of fans every year, and with the support of British Transport Police, the company can employ a range of measures to keep everything and everyone in good order.
I'm on Frisco, I trust you.
It's the final day of the Premier League football season. At 4 p.m, the country's top teams will all kick off for a final 90 minutes. Today, King's Cross Station will handle thousands of football fans travelling to games in and out of the capital. With serious issues to be resolved at both ends of the table, it's a tense day for footy fans and station staff alike.
You're gone, mate.
It's 9:30 in the morning, and Alan's on duty as station supervisor.
Yankee 2-1's coming in on 2.
Football fans or not, it's his job to keep everything working like clockwork.
So it's a minute early now.
If not, there could be penalties to pay.
When they're green, that means they're running basically to time. When they're yellow, like that one there, that means it's over 10 minutes late. If they go red, that means they're really late. Every day, we have a plan for what train's going to do what when it comes in, what it goes back out. And so far today, it's going to plan. That's basically my role. I need to make sure that happens.
The first supporters to arrive at the station are the Arsenal. They're travelling north from London to watch the Gunners take on Newcastle United.
3-0. 6-0 to the Arsenal, 6-0 to the Arsenal, 6-0.
So you're in coach D, seat 33. It's further down. The letters are on the side of the end of the carriage.
The 10 a.m. departure will take 3 hours to reach Newcastle. Travelling supporters can be a handful, but they're not all as rowdy as you might imagine.
Thank you. Would you like a cup? Yes, I've got some ice. Thank you. Thank you. Is So where are you travelling to today, sir?
Newcastle.
To Newcastle?
See the Arsenal-Newcastle game.
Oh, brilliant. I haven't had any really bad things with football fans because I think my way of dealing with people, when I come through a carriage and they are like that, they're all drunk, right? You've got to be able to have a way with people because some people would see that and run a mile, couldn't cope with it. Well, if I see that and come through and say, hello, fellas, how you doing? You know, you're all right, what you up to, and talk to them, then it's fine, you know.
Certainly, of course you can.
So far, so good. Hundreds of good-natured Arsenal fans are en route and on time. But that is just the beginning. Back at King's Cross, staff are gearing up for a potentially difficult day. And the station staff is boasted by a heavy police presence.
It's the last important game of the season for most teams. This is going to decide the positioning throughout the league.
We like to have a police presence on the station. That's basically a precaution just to make sure that, you know, nothing silly goes on. And it's, you know, keeps everybody happy, keeps non-football people happy, and it also just reminds the football fans that you know, be sensible.
While Arsenal head for an away day in Newcastle, the other big North London team, Tottenham Hotspur, are playing at home. Many of their fans live outside the capital and thousands will pass through King's Cross on their way to the game.
We'll sing what we want. We'll sing what we want. We'll sing what we want. Tottenham Hotspur, we'll do what we want.
Tottenham are playing Sunderland, and as the East Coast Line is one of the main routes from the northeast to London, thousands of fans from Wearside are also expected to arrive in the station on their way to the same game.
Bravo, Gary to Bravo. Graham, over.
Station manager Gary is the man charged with leading the King's Cross team on one of the most stressful days of the year.
Here, a couple of trolleys. It's got 40 odd people.
You need to be quite tolerant of people in general. You need to be able to understand that people are different. I know at King's Cross we've got people from all sorts of backgrounds, cultures and so on. So in dealing with your staff as people rather than as staff, that's probably the biggest sort of challenge.
I'd rather get it ball in now, actually, if we can. I'd rather get it ball in now.
Today, Gary's under pressure. Match days can mean big trouble, and he's taking no chances. He's called in a big police presence, and he's also introduced an alcohol ban.
About 40 or 50 on that one.
From 6:30 today, all services heading to the northeast will be alcohol-free, known as dry trains.
We put these on when there's a chance of antisocial behaviour, particularly from football fans. Today's one of those days, and there's a good chance that we might get some trouble.
Believe it or not, once a ban is in place, nobody will be allowed to even carry any booze, not even in their luggage. That means a full baggage search on the platform. It also means having officers standing by in case anyone thinks they are beyond the law.
I'm pretty sure last time they were down here, the 2000, 21, 22 were all quite busy.
We are here to support the railway company. It's the Railway East Coast that are actually dealing with the enforcement. We are there to support them and purely standing back, and there are powers at which we could use if these people refuse to hand over or they're intoxicated and we'll have to reject them from the station.
While football fans arrive at their destinations, a fan of an altogether different kind gets up close and personal with a railway legend.
There we go, we've got people waving at you there, look.
It's noon on the last day of the Premier League football season. In a few hours, all the country's top teams will be in action, including Arsenal, whose travelling fans are on their way to see their team play in Newcastle.
So to stay at this level, the way that he dresses, that's me. Yeah? I'm not crazy, I'm not drunk, I'm just like, this is me, innit? You know what I mean? So it's all good, it's all good. You know, I'm going to Newcastle, but I'm not going with them.
Save the world,
Purple shoes as well. Just to jazz it up a little bit. So, the whole full outfit.
Hello, morning. Can I see your tickets, please? Lovely, thank you.
Charlotte, the trained guard, has seen it all before. To her, a superhero is just another paying customer.
There we go,
You're
cheers.
my friends, I'll be my friends by 5:30.
Not as cool as you, eh?
They're not as cool as me. Green with envy, that's their problem. Green with envy.
The boys may be boisterous, but Charlotte has seen much worse, even though violence on trains is rare.
I've had a few bad stories. I had 2 fights going on simultaneously at each end of the train. And one was just a young lad that had been punched by somebody because he was being too loud. And the other, I'd walked into a carriage that had just had quite a big brawl that had happened. And as I walked in, I saw the blood. And I just ended up saying to them, oh, who's messed up my carriage? And then they just started laughing. And then by Peterborough, we had the police to the train. And a few people were arrested and taken off. So, but yeah, that was a very trying day, that one.
From 6:30 p.m. today, a strictly enforced match-day alcohol ban comes into force, and certain designated East Coast departures will become dry trains. This service departed at 10 a.m., so its lucky passengers are free to make merry and drink as they please. But not everybody is enjoying their freedom.
East Coast train.
What's that?
I watched it on record because it's really been most unpleasant.
Okay, the noise.
Quiet now.
I can ask them to calm down a bit, but we do have a quiet coach in Coach B, which I'm happy to move you down to if you prefer to go down there. A couple of older ladies, they'd obviously just come along for a quiet ride, not expecting the football, and so they'd mentioned to me that they were getting upset with the noise from the fans behind. So I just offered to move them down into our quiet coach for them, which they obviously appreciated. Only takes 5 minutes, and obviously they're happy and I'm happy, and then they can carry on chanting in the other carriage. So.
Shush. Yeah. You know.
It was a bit like being at a football match. There was much singing and drinking and shouting. Because both of us were getting a headache. And she very kindly moved us to this carriage, which I didn't realise there were quiet carriages, because I'd have opted for one straight away.
There you go, thank you.
It's 12:30 p.m. and back at King's Cross, thousands of Sunderland fans are arriving in the capital for their final day clash with Tottenham Hotspur. For station supervisor Alan, it's time to face the first wave of footy fans.
We've got a couple of trains from the northeast. They've been on there for 3 hours, so I expect a bit rowdy-ish, but nothing too serious.
Alan was expecting the Sunderland fans to be in high spirits, maybe even a little rowdy, but he wasn't expecting them to be singing Italian opera.
Come on, Solon! We are Solon, we are Solon!
But it's not the fans on their way to today's games that are the biggest concern. It's the clowning around on the way home that can cause problems.
Everybody tends to want to go back at the same time, so it all tends to be a bit more entertaining in that sense from 6 o'clock onwards, when they all get back after the game.
We'll try to behave, but jumping about the train, probably. Especially if we get a result today, we'll definitely have a good time on the train on the way back.
And our next call-in point will be Newcastle. Please ensure when leaving this service you take all your personal belongings and luggage with you, and please mind your step between the train and the platform edge.
Information controller and fanatical Newcastle fan Daz would rather be at the stadium than work. On previous match day shifts, he has been known to sneak a look at the TV.
Hey, sorry, boss. Hey, come on!
But today, poor Daz is stuck on platform duty.
When you're dealing with big, like match events and stuff like that, when you've got like the big crowds, I've had instances where there's just been a sea of people on the platform, like hundreds of people waiting for one train, like the last train, and you've got to try and keep them back. They're drunk and they're carrying on and stuff like that, and they just don't seem to be aware that how dangerous it is. One slip and they're on the track. So then you've got to really do your job properly, and you've got to try and usher everybody back, and then it's just making sure everybody gets on the train safe,
Chill out, Barry. Chill out, man.
Today is Newcastle's last home game of the season against Arsenal. There's a lot of Arsenal fans came up yesterday and today. Some of them made a weekend of it.
While footballers from all over the world prepare to battle it out on the pitch, Daz has got his own team of tricky Italians to manage.
No smoking. Unfortunately, no.
Come on.
You cannot? No, definitely not.
That's bad. Why 5 hours journey with
why don't they have a smoking area?
No, they used to. It's no smoking anywhere now, is it?
Yeah, but
anything with this kind of country.
What if you are traveling for
but
hours?
in Italy, you're not allowed
Unfortunately,
to
you have to
smoke
have
on
a big
train.
drag before you get on.
It's clearly not the lack of booze bothering these travellers. It's the UK smoking ban and the lack of smoking area in Daz's beloved Newcastle station that's getting them all worked up.
Mom, I love you.
80 miles south, the next main station on the East Coast line is York. And here, there's an altogether more genteel visitor for information controller Julie to deal with. It's the Orient Express Northern Belle, one of the most luxurious trains in the world. It's pulled into York Station, and it definitely doesn't have a booze ban.
There we go, we've got people waving at you there, look. A few years back, we went down to Herefordshire for the day and back, and we had plenty to drink, and the food was excellent, really nice. A lovely treat, yeah. If you can see through here, look, this is the shop, and people can sit in here. People can buy jewellery and all sorts on it. Nice to see no drunks on the train, sophisticated people.
There might be no drunks on the train, but that can't be said for the platform.
These poor people that's had a nice day out to a flower show are sat eating the meal and looking out the window at him throwing up. And I don't really do sick, so I've just kind of walked by him for now. He's been more sick, so we're going to have to go and get a cleaner to sort him out. I can't do sick, he makes me feel sick looking at it, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he'll probably end up on a wrong train, won't know where he's going. We'll go and shake him in a bit and ask him where he's travelling, but he probably won't remember where he's travelling to. So we'll just leave him to sober up a bit and get him on the next train.
A booze ban on trains heading north means a full bag search on the platforms of King's Cross.
You're not allowed to take it, unfortunately.
No alcohol at all.
It's the last day of the Premier League football campaign. King's Cross Station is quiet, but only for the time being. In a couple of hours, thousands of Sunderland and Tottenham fans will pour onto the platforms, heading home after their final match of the season. To restrict the potential for trouble, station staff and police are preparing for the tricky job of enforcing an alcohol ban. But station assistant Alan has a different problem. The train at platform 5 is already full of passengers and is ready to depart.
Yeah, I'll be coming down there.
but the driver has found a fault with the train's radio, which communicates with the signal boxes up the line and the central control room. As long as they're not working, the train can't leave.
It's not been working at all.
Yeah, I've got it. Got it, Instagram. Oh, mate, do you seriously want us to swap NRN radio heads over?
While engineers weigh up the option of a quick repair, Alan talks to the control room about Plan B. They have a spare train on standby.
Yeah, I don't really think we've got any choice. I just want to know, they're talking about a quick fix, but I'm just trying to find out. Just can you give me the arrival head code on 7?
Arrival head code is 1 Echo 11. I'm on the 40 York as we speak now as well, and he said they need more time. Swap it from 5 to 7.
Echo the kilo over.
It's all clean, it's ready to go, it's all being clean. I've already checked that out.
Right, boys, I need to make a quick decision.
They're going to try and get us transferred. Yeah, we're saving the buses.
Right, it's going to change sets then, right? Okay. Yeah, platform 7. Yeah, I'm going to tell the guard, all right? Dinesh, we're going to get an announcement, put everybody over to number 7, all right? We've got a failure on number 5. We're transferring passengers over to platform 7. I'm heading towards the guard now, but if anybody gets there before me, we're transferring passengers from 5 to 7.
Alan knows thousands of football fans will soon be arriving at the station. He needs to act fast to get his passengers on their way before the match day rush begins.
Get Carol to do an announcement, and I'm going to go and tell the catering crew that we're going over to 7. Jesse! This one's cancelled, all right?
Right.
People are coming off. Can you direct them to 7?
7, yeah.
Come here. Can you just stand around here? They're coming off 5. I want them directed to number 7, all right? But it is shown, all right? But if you can just look pretty, because you look prettier than I do, all right? Now I'm going to try and fix it, but that takes a bit of time. It's quicker to transfer the passengers and wait for it to be fixed. So hopefully, about another 5 minutes and we'll be away with a bit of luck. But it's frustrating for the customers because they've obviously got themselves all settled down and then we do that to them. Is it your bike? Is it the bike, yeah? Last train in my shift. It's always away. Last train. Delta Dinesh over.
Yeah, I'm on number 5.
Crisis averted. Alan's shift ends on track as his final train leaves on schedule. Not a moment too soon.
If that happened tonight, that would be a bit interesting, that would. But no, this time of day, it's never a good time. But there are worse times for it to happen, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
It's 6 o'clock, and in Newcastle, the football season is over. It's been a bad day for information controller Daz. He missed his beloved Newcastle United's match against Arsenal. His team got beat, and now he has to help Arsenal fans get home.
The Arsenal fans have come back all buoyant, you know, they're Champions League now. I mean, you never know, maybe a couple of 1,000 will come back through the station.
Come on, you gunners!
Luckily for Daz, the Arsenal fans are more interested in the fate of their arch rivals Tottenham than celebrating beating Newcastle.
It's happened again!
Oh, sorry.
That's great, I love it.
The victory today means that Arsenal have finished above Tottenham and, for the second year running, deny their arch-enemies a place in next season's Champions League.
It's happened again! It was just nerve-shredding. You need red wine to...
It was too tense, it was awful.
Nerve-shredding.
But it's not all bad for Daz, because despite being beaten today, previous results mean that Newcastle are already safe.
That's it, final game of the season. I'm disappointed with the score. If you're truthful with yourself, you're not expecting to beat Arsenal today, but it would be nice to go out on a draw, you know, and a good performance. It doesn't really matter now. It's all over it now. We're staying up, and that's the main thing. We're staying up.
25 for the King's Cross.
Confined, did you say? Okay, then no problem. Thank you.
Relegation avoided, Daz is only too happy to help Newcastle and Arsenal fans alike have a safe journey home.
Right, yeah, quickly jump in and stop all the other lads.
Yeah.
Hey, mate. I'll just take it back up there, gents. Ta. Thank you very much, everybody. Ta.
Train safely dispatched, and Daz finally has time to indulge in some match-day banter.
United score was 5-all in the end.
Sorry?
Man United and West Brom.
Was it? God, I seen it was 5-4. That's some score like that, innit? Want to watch on the TV. I'm match of the day. We got the neat
A bit of excitement for Ferguson on his last game.
Aye. They did that Guard of Honour for him and all, didn't they? Yeah.
Down the line at York Station, the weekend shift begins its own brand of busy for information controller Julie.
Keep going further down past the lift. It'd be that train in there, number 1. London, further down past the lift. Anybody waiting for the London?
At King's Cross Station, the alcohol ban is designed to keep travelling footy fans in good order. At York, a booze ban is occasionally introduced to keep a different crowd in check.
You can tell when it's sun shining, loads come for the day, get too much beer in them, come back and start like throwing like the Burger Kings about or whatever about. And then you try and get them on the train. They can't get on the train because they're holding the doors up for the colleagues coming that's running late, and they fall down the stairs. That's the most difficult time. So you've had a few drinks in there, Brett.
You've had a shandy too?
Julie has worked on the platform for 14 years, and experience has bred a philosophical view when it comes to difficult customers.
I just think you've got to be ardent to this and not like let people intimidate you, because if people start shouting and bawling, they're not shouting at you, they're just shouting at uniform. But you do get a lot of people like shouting and having a go at you, but you just take it with a pinch of salt and don't let them think that they're having a go at you, because they're not. But I don't mind them having a go. Bring it on. I can handle it.
Julie gets a call on her radio. Somebody is causing trouble at the other end of the station.
We're on our way.
The British Transport Police have an office near the concourse and have got to the incident first.
Looks like this man's over there, looks like he's going to get arrested. It looks like he's got some alcohol maybe in a bag or something. I'm not quite sure yet. So he may be kicked off or something, and that's why the police are there.
It's 7 o'clock in the evening and crunch time for station manager Gary. The matches are over and thousands of Sunderland fans are about to pour into King's Cross, where they will face an alcohol ban for the journey home.
Cheers, thanks. If someone wants to travel, they have to leave their alcohol behind. We put them in the bin and dispose of it later on. Everyone thinks we go and drink it, but it doesn't. It goes into a bin. I can assure you that.
It's been advertised for about a week.
Once a train has been designated dry, there are no exceptions, and that means everybody boarding, not just football fans.
Unfortunately, if you're not a football fan, it does apply to everybody. We don't single out football fans in particular. The same bylaw is used on late night trains where we have problems throughout the country, so it's not specific to football.
We are not checking your tickets. You must not have any alcohol on you. Any alcohol on you, sir?
Over the years, station assistant Jackie has found that gentle persuasion can go a long way to diffusing potential trouble.
Have you got any alcohol in your bag? Okay. Any alcohol on you? Okay. I used to be a stewardess of a club, so confiscating beer and telling people they can't drink is, you know, second nature, really. So, no, I don't mind. And then I know I've got all the boys in blue behind me. We're checking for alcohol. Any alcohol on you, lads?
Frisk me,
No,
frisk me.
I won't frisk you. I trust you. I trust you. Any alcohol?
Just in my belly.
Just in your belly. Well, as long as it's in your belly
I've
and
tried.
not in your pockets, I don't mind.
I've tried.
Oh, okay. Please go through.
Thanks largely to Jackie's good humour, Operation Dry Train is running smoothly.
Okay, then. That's all right.
For the time being, at least.
You can't have alcohol on the train, mate.
The police have their hands full, and some passengers rebel.
It's Geordie and something.
You haven't got alcohol. Have you got alcohol on you?
No, Lord, you can't. No, Lord, you can't.
It's the end of the final day of the Premier League football season. The matches are all over. Thousands of Sunderland fans are heading home from London, and they'll be travelling on booze-free trains.
This is a dry train, so no alcohol allowed on this one.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Okay.
Passengers' bags are subject to random searches by East Coast staff, backed up by a heavy police presence.
Thank you. No alcohol on you.
East Coast trains give at least 48 hours notice of dry trains through their website and posters in the stations, but inevitably not everyone gets the message.
If they do try to drink alcohol on the train and they're caught by the police, then it's an offence under the railway bylaws. They could be arrested, charged. So it's up to them, really. Yeah.
So there's no alcohol allowed on the train?
Travellers carrying drink can either throw it away or dispose of it another way before they board.
You on this train, are you? Yeah. Fine, off you go.
Station manager Gary put the booze ban in place, and he's on the front line making sure it all goes to plan.
Have you got any alcohol on you?
We're duty-free stuff that I just bought from India.
Have you?
Unaware of the alcohol ban, this man has travelled from the airport after a holiday abroad, complete with duty-free booze in his bag.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to take it, unfortunately. It's a dry train. Where are you going to?
I'm going to York.
York. The only thing I can suggest is taking a train up to Doncaster and changing there. We'll do that.
Let's just drop it in the office.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When are you back in next?
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh, do you?
Daily commute.
Oh, I see, right, yeah. Yeah, we can't allow you to take it, I'm afraid.
No problem, I'll
Yeah.
leave it in the
All
office.
right, okay, that's fine. All right, thank you.
Most fans going to away games heed the warnings and respect dry trains, but some still try to beat the ban by hiding their booze, like this lot, who have cunningly concealed their stash of spirits. Nice try, guys.
No alcohol at all. The situation there was, I was just generally talking to Sunderland fans that it was an alcohol-free train. And as he changed hands with his McDonald's, the bag split and 3 or 4 miniatures of whiskey dropped out, much to his embarrassment, to be honest.
Anything in that bag?
Food.
That's all right.
The more experienced travelling fans board the train, clutching post-match cups of tea and coffee. With a train jam-packed with football fans, the regular East Coast on-board staff will be assisted by a heavy police presence. It's the British Transport Police from the North East who've been drafted in to help escort the Sunderland fans home. It's their job to make sure no booze has been smuggled onto the train.
Hold on. All right. You can't have alcohol on the train, mate. So I'll have to just take it off you, all right? Yeah, no bother. Just with it being a dry train, that's all. Yeah, no worries. I'll just tip it out. Right. Oops. Oh, nearly.
How much have you won?
Nearly. Yeah, well, that's it. First class is quiet. I am gonna tip it out. Yeah. Just tip it out. Yes.
There you are, Scott. Well, I mean, I'm not going to bend down and get it. If you can just grab it for us and get rid of it, and then. Right, there's a white bag down there with some cans in, so I'll just get rid of them. They're just here, mate, in the middle. Is that a can as well, is it? Just there beside you. Basically, we're doing a walk through the train. Obviously, anybody with any drink will either take it off them or let you know what we're doing. If we come back and there's more drink, then you'll be dealt with the offence, because it is a dry train and it is an offence to bring drink on the train. All right. All right.
Yeah, it's a dry train, but I'm not like some mentalist that's going to kick off all over. I'm like 51-year-old, travelling with a couple of mates, a couple of drinks, not a problem. You know, so why should I be treated like a kid?
Yeah, because there's obviously occasions when they might fish it out the bin. Right. All quiet through there, is that? Have you been through there or? Yeah, smashing.
Give it a couple of minutes before we walk back. Give it a chance.
There was a few with drink.
Yeah, took a bit off. Yeah.
Who tried to hide it, so they obviously knew, but we'll just give them the opportunity.
It's mainly with small pockets, isn't it? Groups, which we've had with football fans before, where we've ended up arresting members of the group, and it sort of escalates from there. Not so much with dry trains, but we've actually had, like fights in the vestibule area, which is very difficult to deal with again, especially on a moving train, as you can imagine. So. Everything's different, every incident, it's you just got to sort of take it as it comes, really. It's the only way to do it.
The booze ban may seem draconian to some, but the combination of alcohol and large groups of travelling fans can lead to serious safety issues for staff and customers alike.
Football supporters are probably the worst supporters that you can have on your train, yeah. And there is teams out there that are known for their bad travellers, and I suppose that is the sad aspect of when you are having people travelling, because nobody enjoys working the trains because the fear for their own safety in a sense, and I think that's a sad environment for us to be in. We're trying to provide a service for the general public, and they're just making out an environment for people to be frightened to be in. So yeah, there is teams that are scary. And we do look at the fixtures when they come out and you think, oh God, if I can try and take a day off when they're not playing.
I think if we go to the next one, yeah, because that group that we took the drink off are down there.
Just keep an eye.
Just keep an eye.
Yeah.
They've gone down the toilet, mate.
They've been tipped out. Yeah.
How was it candy live, man?
It's just an offence, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just so it's fair for everyone, It's got to be the same for everyone.
I thought you had this good proper rule where they didn't give me
The problem is, where do we keep them? That's the other problem as well.
Yeah.
Well, then there'd be nothing to stop you going and getting them halfway through, would there? Fair's fair. I think you knew you weren't meant to have them, because obviously as soon as I came, you dropped them under the seat. So.
I wasn't a woman, but I was taking them in for the bands.
Right. Hold of the bends.
I got it wrong there.
You did.
Yeah.
Good effort.
No bother.
It's totally insulting, because you can tip at any time of day. All it does is drive people to high vodka down the kegs, do this, that and the other, mix the drinks. People stag off the train worse than what you would with a couple of cans. Yeah. All I'd like is to have a couple of cans, decent drink, and that's it.
So it hasn't
ruined your day. Did your team win today?
Now we got beaten, that's ruined, dear.
Who's your team? Is it Sunderland?
Sunderland, we're doing all right in the pitch. It's these that are spoiled a day, to be fair.
At York Station, most of the weekend revellers have gone home. The last train of the night to be dispatched by Julie has no passengers on it. This one is heading to the depot overnight.
This is empty stock, it's not going anywhere. Oh, thanks. Tell me when you're ready to, and I'll ring it out. This is what takes time up. That's it, I just heard him click. Received, I'll ring it out. Not going anywhere, these girls. Ready? It's good. All right. We've had a few excitements, I think, and a good shift. So I'm going to go and sign off and go home.
Julie thinks it's all over, but not quite.
7 to rail 3. Any chance you could get hold of cleaners? There's a load of blood all over the near Costa on the top of the stairs. There's loads. Yeah, somebody must have either cut themselves or something. It's horrendous.
With such a large amount of blood on the stairs, Julie suspects that somebody could be seriously injured and possibly still in the station somewhere.
Somebody must have fallen and they're bleeding outside down here. Yeah, I'm on my way. Oh, thanks. God, I've never seen so much blood.
Yeah, it's just
Oops. Do you want some more? Shall I go and get some? I've got a bandage. I'll get you a bandage.
Nah, I don't know. Put the pressure on. Keep the pressure on it.
Put the pressure on it.
Keep the pressure on it.
That gentleman's either fallen up the stairs or down the stairs. He's very intoxicated. I asked him if he needed a bandage on his head instead of those tissues. He was a bit rude to me, so I said, well, I don't think he needed any help, so I left him to the police. Right, we'll go out and sign off.
Across the network, the stations are all but empty. The trains have reached their final destination, and another East Coast weekend is over. The great British love affair with train travel is as old as the railways themselves. From the beating heart of London's metropolis to the majesty of the Scottish Highlands. Connecting coast and countryside with our great cities, the East Coast Line has it all.
Disregard that, it's a glitch.
But it's the people who give life to this railway.
I'm on Frisco, I trust you.
British public are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
The East Coast Line carries 19 million passengers a year on 155 train journeys a day, along almost 1,000 miles of track. East Coast is the largest operator on the line. It runs trains, manages stations, and employs nearly 3,000 staff.
That's all you're doing all day. I'm not playing with you while you're showing off.
The East Coast workforce toils tirelessly.
Mandy bags, please.
From driving trains...
Look at this office window. Fantastic.
...to making breakfasts...
I've cooked that much bacon over the years, surprised I haven't turned into a pig.
...to controlling the whole train set.
Morning. That's absolutely excellent, Graham. Thank you very much for that news.
Keeping everything on track behind the scenes and in public.
I've been standing here for half an hour.
These are the real heroes of the railway. There's a very special breed of dedicated people who eat, sleep and breathe the railway.
How many people have that view when they go to work?
Stop running! This is a Newcastle service.
First, there are the drivers and the engineers who look after the trains.
Right, Jim, you can see that level of valves up already.
Every single day of the year, that wire is live at 25,000 volts.
You've done it already?
It's down to them to ensure the safety and comfort of all passengers across the entire rail network.
We've got BN12 coming in now. It's already about 40 minutes late. I have to get the boys on this and work around the clock. Those are the things that can go wrong.
And then there are the train spotters, who eagerly and patiently wait for hours for a glimpse of that special locomotive. All this for the love of trains. It's the dead of night at Bounds Green Engineering Depot in North London. Britain's travelling public is tucked up in bed, blissfully unaware of the mechanical wizardry taking place inside this 17-acre workshop, a hangar the size of an airport terminal.
How's that one over there, Echo? Pull it down.
24 hours a day, 364 days a year, the dedicated crew of engineers and mechanics
just do it.
Ensure that every intercity train in the East Coast fleet is in excellent working order.
Okie dokie, it's liven everything up.
Technical team leader Ray Bond
She'll be good.
is one of the engineers based at the locomotive works.
Yeah, see, she rotates through there, nice.
No, I'm not James Bond, it's just Ray Bond, and I'm not Basildon or Premium or Brooke or Uni. I'm none of those Bonds, I'm just Ray Bond. My proudest achievement is actually repairing these massive trains. I say a train weighs 500 tonnes and it can come in with any manner of defects on it, and it's just an absolutely fantastic feeling to repair something and watch it go out, and knowing that the fact you have repaired it and it's going to go into London and people are going to get on that train and go somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's all good now, mate. Yep, brilliant. Cheers, Goody.
Just as the trains have their timetables to keep, the Bounds Green night shift is on a tight schedule.
The day shift is sort of more relaxed. On the night shift, yeah, you are aware of time scales. You know you must get the train serviced. You've got to get it out, ready to get the next one in so that can be serviced as well.
HQ has assigned Bond his first mission of the night, the examination of the driver's cabin. There are 2 cabins attached to each locomotive. Ray's mission would not be complete without checking the braking system.
Effectively, that's just your ignition key. We'll go into what we call the auxiliary position, and that sets the locomotive up If I move the controller forward and take power, we would eventually move forwards. So we take forwards. I can hear now all the fans are up to speed and everything. And then we can actually take power. So we just notch on, we can hear the electrical switches pick up, we can open them up. If we left that power on, eventually that power would be great enough to overcome the brakes. This particular locomotive packs 6,500 horsepower, so she's a powerful bit of kit. She weighs 84 tonnes, the train itself is about 500 tonnes, so that's why we need that 6,000 plus horsepower to get her going. But yeah, she does have enough power in her to overcome the brakes, and eventually she would move.
The train isn't moving, which means the brakes are working. Next up, if you've ever wondered what lies beneath the bonnet of an intercity train engine, now's your chance. Bond's next operation is to check out the locomotive.
Sort of a general look, knowing that everything's where it should be and everything. Obviously, you get used to the feel of how the locomotive should be. You even get used just to the sound they make. You know when something's become loose or if something's not working correctly, it just doesn't sound right anymore. So we'll go through, just check.
The same checks need to be performed in the second cab at the other end of the engine.
Hello, it's Bond here. Who's there?
You're a smooth operator, Bond. It's now 1:45 in the morning at East Coast Engineering Depot in North London. While the country is sound asleep, the night shift is in full swing. As one train leaves, another arrives to take its place. Keeping the rolling stock organised is team leader and train fanatic Galbert, or Gilly, as his mates like to call him.
Oh, don't forget, anything, let me know quickly. Yeah. You have to love trains, you have to be dedicated, and you have to know what you're doing. I would say engineers are a special breed, yeah, because especially engineers who are working on trains. You have to have the train thing in your blood. Yeah, you have to be a railwayman. I love my job. I enjoy it very much.
One of Gilly's responsibilities is to check inside the passenger carriages.
We're looking for anything out of the ordinary that would cause passenger discomfort, as in damaged armrests, damaged seats, anything sticking out that could injure the passenger or their clothing. We found crutches, artificial legs, all kind of nonsense to find on there.
Most items are taken to lost property. Most, but not all.
We found people asleep on the train, especially in the toilets. Winter time, you find that a lot. They tend to dodge the staff when the train pulls into King's Cross. And then we have to... It's normally a struggle to get them off because they're normally drunk or whatever, asphyxiated with drugs, whatever. But we do get them off.
The night shift tackles the most dangerous job on the railway.
There's that much power, it will kill you. It's as simple as that.
It's the middle of the night at the East Coast Engineering Works depot in Bounds Green.
All right then, son? Hey, is it working all right then?
Every night the team services the fleet of electric and diesel locomotives. One of the electric-powered trains arrives needing a vital piece of equipment replaced, the pantograph. It's a metal arm housed at the top of the engine which feeds electricity from the overhead wires into the locomotive. This powers the train like a dodgem, but only 5,000 times more powerful.
On the top of the pantograph is a pantograph head. That's actually in contact with the overhead wire. Top surface of that is made of carbon. That wears as it's running under the wire. So every so many days we change it out, we put a new one on there.
Technical team leader Ray Bond teams up with engineering technician Lester for the job.
Excellent. But you're going to change the pan head, aren't you?
Yeah. Working around electrical currents of up to 25,000 volts is one of the most dangerous jobs on the railway.
It's incredibly dangerous. These electric trains are incredibly quiet. And for all intents and purposes, when you see one sitting still like this, you think it's completely dead. But it's not. All the time, every single day of the year, that wire is live at 25,000 volts. You don't even have to touch it. Even if you just get near, it will jump. There's that much power, it will jump to you and it will kill you. It's as simple as that. There's no second chance with it. We turn off the 25,000 volts first, obviously, for safety. All these vehicles have an orange line painted on them, and effectively that's a safety line. And you do not put any part of your body above that orange safety line unless the overhead electricity has been turned off. Yep, cheers, got it. Yep.
Well done.
Right, that's our old pan head down. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's quite a strange phenomenon. Obviously the 25,000 volts is switched off, but to actually still try and touch that wire while it's dead, it's a strange thing. Can you touch it? Oh!
I don't like touching it.
Nah, even though we all know it's dead, it's still really hard to touch it.
Another mission accomplished by Bond, Ray Bond. "325 miles north of the Bounds Green Depot, it's almost dawn at Edinburgh's Waverley Station. The first service out today is the most famous train in the East Coast Fleet, the Flying Scotsman. Named after the legendary engine that joined the two capital cities of Edinburgh and London, this 21st century version is one of the flagship services on the East Coast Line. The customer service team is on board early to ensure passengers are looked after, and like the night shift at Bounds Green, they're on a tight schedule.
So we've got to make sure we've got everybody fed and watered before final destinations. From here to Newcastle, it's only an hour and 20 minutes, so we've got to fit how many get on into their breakfast before we get to Newcastle.
In charge of feeding the first-class passengers is on-board chef Scott.
At the moment we're on schedule as far as the prep's going. The trick to working in a small team in a small space is not to be a prima donna chef who's just like, this is my space and you're not allowed in it. I've worked with a few guys like that and it doesn't work. Let the games begin.
Good morning, my name is Bill Stewart. Can I have your Chinese pizza?
Flying Scotsman leaves Edinburgh at 5:40 in the morning and stops only at Newcastle before speeding its way to London, with his passengers fed, watered and ready for the working day. Almost all of his passengers are travellers who prefer to take the train rather than fly to London for business.
Typical Monday morning, quite a few passengers on board, but always a bit hectic on the Monday morning getting organised. Once we get ourselves organised and the chef's organised, hopefully it'll all run like clockwork. We'll see what happens.
Hey there, any tea or coffee for you this morning?
Coffee, please. Everything is ticking along for Gail, but customer service assistant Chris is struggling with a notoriously tricky piece of mechanical hardware.
Oh, come on. There was a bit of miscommunication between myself and the toaster. I think we burnt 9 bits of toast. You've got to stand and actually observe the bread toasting. If not, you'll end up with burnt toast.
A little bit of burnt toast never did anybody any harm.
My favourite passenger this morning. No offence. Ah, yeah, yes. You got breakfast too, didn't you? Yeah.
She enjoyed his sausage.
6 a.m. at Barnes Green Engineering Depot in North London.
All right, we'll get inside and check the rest of the stuff. There you go, Jim.
Team leader Gilly and his men have the huge responsibility of checking that the braking system on every train in the depot meets the national safety standard.
When you work on a train, especially if you're working anywhere near the wheels, the brake system, you've got lives in your hands. Yeah. 300 lives in your hands every time you go near a train.
Just let me know what is not okay.
Yeah, and don't forget to check the car coupling damper. They check all on the carriage, panels, brake pads, calipers, wheels condition, and so on.
Each train weighs over 500 tons and can seat around 500 passengers, and the brake pads need to be changed regularly. That's 25,000 brake pads every year.
That is a pair of brake pads. That's what it looks like. And they'll check for the thickness. Yeah. See the difference in thickness. If you allow them to wear too thinly, the metal bit would just rub on the metal part of the disc and crack the disc.
Passenger safety is paramount at Barnes Green. The depot runs the equivalent of an MOT assembly line, servicing up to 10 trains a night, fixing any problems and returning the engines to their stations in time for morning services.
You can see that level of valve is up already. It's always a race against time. We have to beat the clock all the time.
If the night shift is late, its trains won't run on time, passengers will be delayed, and the company could incur substantial fines.
We have late departure from King's Cross, lots of complaints, trains in the wrong places. We have a sort of like knock-on effect, and that in turn would cost us money.
The train has been fixed, and Gilly needs to immediately dispatch it back to King's Cross. But there's a problem. It's not moving.
We're obviously having troubles with the signal. We have a above flashing light and a warning siren. None of those are happening.
The clock's ticking, but Gilly and his team are at the mercy of signals. It's only safe for the train to leave when the light is green. To add fuel to the fire, there's another train arriving at the depot, and it's already 40 minutes behind schedule.
We've got BN12 coming in now. It's already about 40 minutes late. I'm concerned about the time, so I have to turn this around. It's beginning to mount up now.
Gilly and his team now have to double their normal workload in only half of the usual time.
I have to get the boys on this and work around the clock to meet program.
Gilly goes back to try and solve the problem with the first train. It's still waiting to leave.
We're having a problem on the line. We can't get the signals yet to clear the train so the train can leave the depot. So Tony's going to try closing and opening the doors again.
Opening and closing the doors should reset the system.
Any joy?
There should be flashing lights and a warning siren, but nothing's happening.
Those are the things that can go wrong. It is a big problem. Slightly worrying now.
For the train to reach King's Cross in time to begin its scheduled journey, Gilly has no choice but to override the red light and dispatch the engine with extreme caution.
I'll let you deal with that.
Yeah, it's doing it now.
Yeah. All right.
Finally, after 30 minutes of delay, the train can head out to King's Cross.
It's a relief to get this one up now anywhere. I can go and have a cup of tea in peace.
It's 7 a.m. and the Flying Scotsman East Coast flagship express service from Edinburgh to London has just pulled into Newcastle, the only stop on its route. 100 more passengers board for the journey to King's Cross, and the train needs to be fully restocked in only 3 minutes. Over 36,000 business travellers use this service every year. Nothing less than excellence is demanded by passengers and staff alike, especially in first class.
Typical day at the office, you go up for a passenger who's needing coffee, you go up and it's tea. What should be in that one? Coffee. Guess what? Tea. Tea.
Yeah, it looks like coffee. It's coffee.
I'm here all week, by the way.
Yeah.
That shouldn't taste like tea. Third time lucky for yourself?
Go for it. Thank you.
After just 4 hours, the Flying Scotsman completes his 325-mile early morning workout and pulls into King's Cross on time. And while the passengers begin their working day, 7 miles north at the engineering works in Vans Green, Ray and the night shift team are ending theirs.
When we finish the shift and we've got an empty depot, we know that we've done what we're paid to do, really. For me, that's my shift over. I shall now make my way home and have a well-deserved sleep, I think, and yeah, get up and get ready to do it all over again this evening.
Thunderbirds are go. Going back in time, that is.
Saying that's a classic one, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Proper railway.
And York Station faces the invasion of the train spotters.
That's exactly how steam trains should be.
East Coast Trains takes 19 million passengers up and down 936 miles of track every year. As part of a £1.6 billion network rail upgrade, a section of the London to Edinburgh mainline route is being diverted. Driver Steve can't start using the detour until he completes a test drive of the new route using what's known as a Thunderbird locomotive.
Stations, signals, route, crossings, just get them all off, and basically then when we get to the end, it's am I ready for being assessed and passed out.
Steve must negotiate the journey from Peterborough to Lincoln and back. And with instructor Mario at his shoulder.
It worked.
Thunderbirds are go. That's right, mirror signal maneuver.
What a lovely day. So through Eastfield, Honours made.
Steve needs to memorise all level crossings, new signals and slower speed limits.
960. The differences between this route and the main line are, one is it's sort of more rural. When it's dark, it really is dark. There's not as many landmarks, sort of towns and villages that we're going through, which are good landmarks for you, particularly in foggy, when it's dark, in them sort of conditions. And it's a lot slower. And sometimes I find the faster you go, it's easier to learn a route, actually, than when you're actually pootling around at this sort of 55 mile an hour.
The Thunderbird is used for rescuing stranded engines and training new drivers. It can pull up to 3,000 tons and reach a top speed of 125 miles an hour.
Here we go, proper railway.
It's not just about staying on track.
Littleworth, distance signal, off. Do you want me to do restricted commentary? No, keep going.
Driving an older line, Steve also has to get acquainted with vintage technology.
It's insane, that's a classic one, isn't it? Oh, yeah. And obviously you can see the difference between seeing that and seeing one of the new LED colour lights is tremendous, really, the sighting of them and everything.
Yeah, but it still works, doesn't it?
Oh, it still works, yeah. And to me, this is the skill of us, isn't it, as drivers? You know where they are and everything like that, whereas some colour lights just make it that tad easier. I can kill more pheasants with one of these than Edwards can with his shotgun.
Since the birth of the railways, a rare breed has been observed lurking in railway stations, a species that loves trains and all that they stand for. This breed is commonly known as the train spotter.
Oh, my name's Ian Willoughby, I'm 27 years old. I've been train spotting for about 20 years now, just over.
Train enthusiasts, as they prefer to be known, log serial numbers of each coach or locomotive they see. Ian highlights numbers already printed out in a handbook that one of his train spotting mates created.
I take the data file with me everywhere I go, just in case I see something different and I can mark it off there and then, rather than sitting for hours at a time when I get home at 11, 12 o'clock, midnight, marking them all off.
To some, he may be a figure of fun, but Ian is proud to be a train spotter.
I call it train spotting. There's a lot of people that won't call it train spotting because train spotting brings that sort of stereotypical anorak, flask of tea, notebook sort of thing. But it's moved on obviously with technology as well.
Today, Ian's on the lookout for a rare steam train that will be stopping at York.
Today, I'm here for the Great Britain 6 rail tour. It's a 9-day trip around the UK. Today's the last day of it, and it's all steam, 100% steam locomotive. It's round about 20 minutes away from where I am now, according to the website.
So Ian waits and waits and waits and waits.
Just whistled. It's just on its way in now. Brilliant, isn't it? It's pretty special, isn't it?
Ian is by no means alone in his passion for the great age of steam. The Union of South Africa was built in Doncaster in 1937 and was one of the fastest locomotives of its time.
Basically now what's happening is this engine here is coming off and they're going to put another one exactly the same type as this one, another A4, bit onto the front of it. I've been on a few steam trains, yeah. I'm actually going on one in September from Crewe up to Perth.
Once the engines are swapped, Ian can head off on the second leg of his big adventure.
The plan now is to get the train to Doncaster. I have to get this train because it gets to Doncaster about 20 minutes before this does, and then I'll see it come through Doncaster at a fair rate of knots, hopefully. Doncaster, yeah.
Due to the engineering works on the main line from Peterborough to Lincoln, East Coast train driver Steve is learning a new temporary route. training in the Thunderbird locomotive with his instructor Mario.
There we go. Just walk everybody up now.
He's just dropped his coffee in the house.
Right. I don't like blowing horn here because they're all retired people at this side.
Where?
Bungalows. If you look, all workers live on the right-hand side and all retired ones are on left.
Steve's training is interrupted by a red light. At each signal, Mario needs to get out of the cab and call the control room to ensure the line ahead is clear. All very 20th century.
Hello, sir. It's driver off this 0 Papa 07 again at your Mike Golf number 3, sir. Right. So you're going to give me a Mike Golf number 3 signal, and when we get it, we're going to approach Cherry Holt. When we get to Cherry Holt crossing, we're going to not cross over it until it is safe to do so, and go over it at caution. When we get over the crossing, we're actually going. Then we're all right to carry on as normal. Cheers. Thank you very much, sir.
You keep saying that when you get on phone, don't you?
Oh, he
gives you a hello.
He says good morning, puts me straight on.
Lincoln Station.
So 65 miles and 1 hour later, how did Steve do, Mario?
Wow. How much is that worth? Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
He's only slapped me twice. So
I did have dark hair though, first day. No, he's not. He's fine. They're fine.
Job's a good one.
We can drive in this gun.
A train-loving artist takes the biggest gamble of her career,
The moment of no return now.
and driver Graham is crowned king of the rails.
I sit in the best seat of the house because I have everything in front of us.
Ian the train spotter is on his way from York to Doncaster for a second glimpse of his favourite steam locomotive.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We shall be arriving into Doncaster Station. If you are leaving the service here, please.
It's the magic of the steam train, really. It's something that you don't see very often. I think that's what draws people to it. It's a sort of, it's something completely different. It's the history of it, the British engineering, the sense of grand design that you don't seem to get on the trains these days. Basically now just going to wait for the steam train to come from York. It's about 10 minutes away, hopefully. So with any luck, shouldn't be long before it'll come flying through here.
Train spotting is a waiting game, and having the patience of a saint always pays off. And sure enough, there in the distance,
I think that's the smoke from it. See that? I sort of, oh, whoa. Yeah. That's exactly how steam trains should be. That was pretty special to me. That's one of the reasons I do spotting. See something different that's not a regular occurrence, something rare, especially at that kind of speed, just doing what it should, doing what it was built to do. Working a proper train from York to London on the main line, exactly what it's all about.
in Whitby, North Yorkshire, 90 miles up the line from me and the train spotter, artist Christine also has a passion for the railways.
I've been painting professionally for 15 years, but I have painted all my life. My parents both painted, and that's where I picked it up from, I reckon.
Christine's painting of York Station is to be submitted to a prestigious competition in London.
2 of my snow scenes I am sending to the Royal Academy Summer Exhibition, which is the most prestigious exhibition in Britain. The chance to hang your work alongside the likes of David Hockney, Ken Howard, Fred Cumin, some of Britain's top painters, it is a huge draw for painters all over Britain.
Christine's journey begins at York Station. It was here, at York, while waiting for a friend to arrive, that the painting was inspired.
I was looking across the platform of the snow and the people waiting on the platform.
The railways are a constant source of inspiration for Christine.
As I travel by train, I often sit and doodle just for amusement. I've always got a sketchbook in my bag, and there'll be a farm building from here, some trees from there, and it gets made up purely for amusement.
Today's trip is one of the most important journeys of Christine's career as a professional artist.
A little apprehension about the Royal Academy exhibition, but it's not one that you build your hopes on too much. A lot of exhibitions you hope to get a picture in. This one, it's always a bonus when you do.
Every day you come to work, irrespective of where you're going or what time you're starting, it's different. You could go the same journey every day, but it would be different every day. And not many people can say that, you know what I mean? I still love my job today as I did 34 years ago when I first started.
Graham is proud to be a driver along the Newcastle to Inverness line. Over 260 miles of the most picturesque scenery on the entire British railway network.
Both my grandfathers and my father all worked on the railway, but they were all signalmen. I'm the only one in my family who's come on the footplate. My dad, he always regarded the driver as being having the best job in the railway. I must admit he's right. But me personally, it's, you can't beat a bit of variation. Whatever walk of life you do, whatever job you do, if there's a bit of variety, it makes it a bit more interesting.
Despite being spoiled for choice, Graham does have a favourite section of the route.
Between Berwick and Bournemouth. It's just because you overlook the North Sea and you're right on the cliff tops, and it's just a superb outlook.
Graham loves his work, but every job comes with the odd occupational hazard.
And you know, you get that feeling, oh, I want to go to the toilet. Very, very rarely you get caught short. You know, it does happen. Obviously, it's human nature. Everybody gets caught short, but it's generally it's very, very rare. And there is opportunities for you to go to the toilet.
But even old hands like Graham get caught out every once in a while.
I was in a place just a few miles south of Peterborough, actually, what's called the Fens. I just put the brake on, I went to the toilet. And I continued the journey. I told the signalman when I got back why, you know. But then our control rang us up, asked us why I lost 2 or 3 minutes. I had to explain.
Christine, an artist from Whitby in North Yorkshire, has taken the train to London to submit 2 paintings to the Royal Academy Summer Exhibition. One of them is of York Station.
Quite a contrast from Whitby, where we've only got 2 sets of traffic lights. It's an eye-opener coming to London.
The odds of one of Christine's pictures being chosen are very long indeed.
There's a very large entry. I believe the percentage chance of getting work in is about 1 in 20, depending on the number of entries. the moment of no return now. Just to unwrap these and hand them in, and that's me done. Not feeling confident, but I think they stand a fighting chance. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi there.
I just need to scan the back.
Just scan the back, thank you.
Yeah.
There's one. There's two. Thank you. Right.
It's all out of Christine's hands now. The paintings will be judged at a later date.
I think that both paintings have a good chance, and I'm always optimistic when I put them in. And yeah, yes, I have to say I will be slightly disappointed if they don't get in.
East Coast driver Graham is heading north on the Newcastle to Inverness line. Even though it's a long and lonely 5.5-hour journey, which ends with an overnight stay in Inverness, Graham loves it so much he jumps at the chance to do it.
Yeah, it's a volunteer link. You're not forced to do it. And if you don't want to do it, it just goes back to the next man who's waiting to come on. A lot of people don't like staying away from home, which I can understand. People don't like sleeping in strange beds all the time. And actually, it can be a very lonely link, because you can sign on some days and never speak or see anybody, or see very, very few people, or speak to very, very few people, if at all. It's what the individual makes it. Here we are here, Dromocta Pass. There it is. Dromocta, that's how it's pronounced. It's the highest point in the rail network. When you look at this out the window, you think to yourself, how many people have that view when they go to work? And that's when I count myself lucky. I say that every time I come up here. It's stunning, man. Can't beat it.